Welcome back to the Okali Film Room. Chris Becker joined here by Sudeep Tumma. We're going to start the Iowa State game. Cowboys lost 24-21. First play of the game. Brock Purdy takes the snap and finds Charlie Kolar for a pretty big gain. It's a pretty big tone setter here. Sudeep, what do you see?
Well, here you see the Cowboys start out in man-to-man across the board. You see Xavier Hutchinson, Charlie Kolar's in the slot. Everyone's racked that way. And to begin the play, obviously there's a motion with Xavier Hutchinson coming across the formation. And because of that, OSU's defense has to rotate. So when they're about here, Colby Harville-Peel is the one who's coming down, right? Colby Harville-Peel, Tanner McAllister. Those are the two you're going to watch here. So when this happens, there is going to be a blatant miscommunication where Colby Harville-Peel and Tanner McAllister both go on to Xavier Hutchinson because that's a guy they obviously targeted, and because of that quick motion, you got to do a lot of quick decisions and a breakdown cover. So you're gonna watch just those two guys go, and they come down, and right about here, you're gonna see Tanner McAllister point to Charlie Kolar. He's trying to pass it off to Colby. Colby doesn't see it, or I don't know what the deal is. But then they both come down and they're right on Xavier Hutchinson, and you see Charlie Kolar wide open. But a few more things to watch here. So when Hutchinson gets into that little slot area next to Kolar, you're going to see Iowa State run just simple flood concept with Hutchinson going to the flat, Darian Woodley, number 17, going on the go route, and Charlie Kolar running about a 10-15 yard out route. So when they come down, and both are on Hutchinson, all of a sudden you see Charlie Kolar just wide open here. And obviously he's an athletic guy who can make things happen after the catch. So he goes and he gets extra yards after that.
Right, normally allowing a guy to stay wide open is probably not a good idea for a defense.
Exactly. And you would think, right, like Charlie Kolar is an athletic guy, but that's the impact of a Xavier Hutchinson. Now, last thing you want to note here is how Brock Purdy was kind of used. Like, we know obviously he's more of a pocket passer, not the most athletic quarterback, but he's very capable. So here's what you do when you negate a pass rush, right? You can do many things: match protection, chip block from a running back, tight end. But here they just get Charlie Kolar on the move. They have that offensive line shift to the left, and then Brock Purdy immediately just slides out to the right and throws it on the run accurately. Obviously, pretty easy to throw it accurately, but
yeah.
Then Kolar runs.
When there's no defenders within 5 yard radius, it's he's got to drop it somewhere in there, and he'll get there. Also, it's huge, so
yeah, exactly. And that's obviously it's a breakdown communication, but that's the impact of it. Xavier Hutchinson. That's what happens sometimes with miscommunication, and that's how Iowa State started off the game.
Right, and outside this play and a few others here and there, OSU was able to shut down Charlie Kolar pretty efficiently. Xavier Hutchinson got to him a little bit, and then Brock Purdy got to him a little, and Brees Hall there towards the end. But all in all, they were able to shut down Charlie Kolar, who who is a huge part of this Iowa State offense.
Yeah, and this is the thing. OSU's got the personnel to do it. Unlike most teams, their linebackers aren't too slow, their safeties aren't too small. They got guys who can cover, and obviously you're not going to do a perfect job on a guy like Kolar, but that's some of the aspects you get.
Right, next play here, 9:09 left in the first quarter. Spencer Sanders is going to fake the handoff to Jalen Warren, keep it for himself, make a few cuts, and get a pretty nice gain of his own. Sudeep, what do you see?
Yeah, so obviously to begin the play, Braden Cassidy's coming over to the left. That becomes a strong side. And what we always talk about with Jalen Warren, zone running game, right? Here you see the outside zone to the left. You're going to see the offensive line first. They're all going to shift off to the left, right? They're all here. So it looks like an inside zone split with Braden Cassidy coming across the formation on trap block and Jalen Warren to be handing off the ball. So what does Iowa State's defense do? All of them. They all shift that way. Eyes are all there, and Spencer Sanders goes off and gets a sizable gain. But here's the guy to watch. Mike Rose, number 23, the very talented Iowa State linebacker, possibly debatably best linebacker in the country. He's over there on the edge. His job is simple, right? Set the edge, stay and contain if Spencer Sanders goes to the other side. But he gets a little antsy. That's what happens when you get a successful run game. Sometimes a guy, just a mental mistake, comes down, doesn't set the edge, and Braden Cassidy has a very easy block on him, and Sanders goes out and uses his ability after running.
Yeah, and then Tay Martin also had a really big block on Greg Eisworth to let Spencer Sanders bounce back even farther towards the numbers, which it was a pretty good block.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, and these two were going at it most of the day. Things got a little chippy every so often, so he won this battle though for sure.
Right, and this is some things we talked about early. Why was even the run game or screen passes and such not working? You have receivers that are so young that aren't apt at blocking, don't know one of the things, because you're talking about like some of those plays. It's not just hey, you give it to Brendan Presley and he runs. All those other things have to click as well, and that's kind of what you see here. And you see Tay Martin make a block, you see Braden Cassidy, and Sanders only has one guy to beat here, and obviously
he did
with his athletic ability. Yep.
So this next play here, 11-13 in the third quarter. Iowa State with the ball again. They trail 14-7, and Purdy's going to keep the ball and pick up around 3 yards. Sudeep, what makes this play so important?
Yeah, so obviously it's only a 3-yard play, but the reason I'm kind of highlighting it is these are some of the things that Iowa State did well to just kind of get a few positive yards and keep that OSU defense off balance. So we talked about Xavier Hutchinson 2 plays ago, and you're going to see him again move in motion to the left, and then you're going to see him come back to the right. Now here's what you're going to watch. Xavier Hutchinson coming on that jet sweep. It looks like they're going to hand it off to him. 52, I believe, the left guard. He's going to come pulling around the side. Brees Hall looks like a lead blocker. Everything looks like it's going to the right side of the formation. So watch that OSU defense. Watch that Malcolm Rodriguez and Jarek Bernard-Converse, and then Colby Harville-Peel and Jason Taylor. All 4 of them are all going to shift to that side because everything's going that way. What do? You leave that hole right there. And even Devin Harper, watch him. Watch where he starts and watch where he ends. Devin Harper's right over there, right? Mm-hmm. And then from there, just watch him. He's bouncing all to the other side. So he comes back and makes a good tackle. But this is what you're talking about. You're getting that defensive misdirection out of place a little bit, and then you're getting Brock Purdy, who isn't obviously, like we said, a capable runner, but he's not the guy who's going to be doing that all the time. And from there, he comes down a few yards, and those are some things that keep him off balance.
Right, and deep in the red zone, those 3-yard plays are really important for an offense, especially because it sets up a 3rd and 1. You have Brees Hall as a running back, and you have many other options on offense.
Right, yeah, it's the impactor, right? Like a Brees Hall.
Right, this next play, 8:44 left in the game. Cowboys are down here, 17-14. Sanders is going to hold it, take the snap, hold it in the pocket, bounce around for a few seconds, and then finally delivers a strike to Tay Martin in the front corner of the end zone for a go-ahead touchdown, and a pretty impressive one at that. Sudeep?
Yeah, this is where you mentioned obviously the progression of Spencer Sanders from 2019, where his instinct, he sees a little bit of rush. After his first progression, he just goes. But here he's looking to the right side all the time. He's looking to that one side. He wants to go to Tay Martin, but he hangs in the pocket, right? And as easy it is to say, just go stay in the pocket, it's not easy, right? Being able to move in the pocket, get better depth, and also just, the mental capacity to kind of do that. So you see him take the snap, obviously low snap. Dominic Richardson gets kind of enough of a block, not really. And then you see Sanders. Just watch him. The entire time he's bouncing up. He gets a snap, and he's bouncing down. Obviously, Birmingham can't get on his man. But watch Sanders. This is the point right here. Look at he's about to release the ball. Look how close everyone is around him, right? Mm-hmm. But he's not shook at all. He knows exactly where he needs to go, and he stays composed. He knows he's going to take a hit, and he throws an absolute dime, right? You can't throw that better than that.
No.
And Tay Martin catches that.
Yeah, it was a really good play all around, and obviously it was OSU's last score, but it was at the time it was really important. Kind of set the tone for a little momentum shift.
Yeah, when you're talking about this good of a defense for Iowa State, it's not that you stay that composed and are able to do all those things. It's impressive.
Right, and for a guy who makes a living on running out of the pocket, he could have very well just saw Dominic kind of shed his block and not have a good enough block, and then just scamper out and not be able to find Tay Martin. So the fact that he stayed in there, it shows some maturity and some.
Yeah, it's not like Tay Martin's also not like busted wide open, like know that he's going to be wide open to throw that small of a window. Or a guy who's obviously making contested catches, but still, it's not like Brennan Presley running 14 yards past someone, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you look at it, 2 of the touchdowns that OSU was able to capitalize on were against Greg Eisworth, an a 3-time All Big 12 safety. So, a lot of them were in contested coverage. It was just OSU's receivers won the battle, and really good throw from Sanders. But
you talk about this defense obviously is suffocating, but it's just to have that sort of trust in your offensive line, I think is really progression. As we've seen from Sanders, that's what let him have such a great game here.
Well, that's all we have for you guys today. Thank you, and we'll be back this next week after the Kansas game.